Welcome to another Tableau tutorial video. Today I'm going to show you how to make bar charts with the rounded edges. It gives a kind of a softer feel. We're just using Superstore data. We're going to come here, start a new. We want to do by segments. Just bring that over to the rows, just like you would any other bar. Sales on columns, and you've got your bar chart. Now you want to make those curves. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. You're actually going to convert this to a line chart. So you can come in here, convert it to line, and you can see that it does a line chart, but it's not the bars that you want. So in order to make this work, you need to create another data point. I call it the starting point because you want it to start from 0 and go to the end of wherever the sales or whatever your value is. I'm going to close that. And you actually need to have measure values up here in the columns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the measure names under the filters, get rid of everything but the starting point and the sales, hit OK, and bring measure values up to the columns. And now you can see that the line is going back and forth as it hits all of these starting points. Now here's the trick. We're going to grab the measure names and we're going to put that on the path. That way it creates just a single line for each of the segments. I don't know why that works that way. You would think that if it was segment, that would be more appropriate, but measure names work. So now you say, okay, well that looks like a bar chart. Where's the rounded part? Now if you come to the size and you make it larger, you'll see that it has the rounded edges, because that's what, when you're doing lines, that's all you have is the rounded edges. So now, come in here, you can bring the segment over to color just like you would normally. To make it that soft, to even make it a little softer, I right click and I hide the header, get rid of that. You're going to have a lot of lines here and this is a bit of a pain. You're going to come under format, go under lines, and under columns you're going to get rid of the grid line. You're also going to get rid of the 0 line, because when you have the 0, the circle actually goes to the left of the 0 line, so that's a little bit odd looking. You're going to get rid of the axis rulers. That's this bottom line. You may not be able to see it at home. And under rows, you're going to get rid of the axis rulers as well. When I first did this, I looked at everything. I looked for panes under the borders. I just turned everything off. It turns out it's the axis ruler. So there you go. So now we'll just come to a dashboard, throw that on there real quick so you have something to look at. We'll just make this floating. And now you say, well, that's great. How do you get the numbers at the end? Good question. Come under label, show the mark values. So just click on that. And so now you see that, hey, wait a minute, we've got numbers at both ends. You don't want that. So if you come down here, you probably could hit max and just allow the maximum value, but that's for the whole pane. Let's see here, line. You could do it the line. The way I initially did it was I did line ends, and then you pick the one you want. I played around with a little bit. Initially I said I just want the line ends, but if you look here at the measure values, you actually want the starting value. It starts here, goes to there. So instead of the line actually going left to right, in this case it's going right to left, but it doesn't matter. And so now you've got your dashboard. You say, well, how come this isn't lined up? Well, that's because it's running out of space. It doesn't have space. And so if you were to increase the size of the axis down here so you have room at the end. But that is how you create the rounded bars, is using line. So please go ahead and subscribe. Check out my Patreon account. Keep the comments coming. Until next time, goodbye.